The stage is set here at the Mattioli Arena for 7 days of top-class snooker.
Leicester fan, a terrific performance to beat Sean Murphy, the Masters and British Open champion. In the end, the ace in the pack trumps the Queen of Snooker. Tonight, he wants to be king against Leicester fan in the group final.
Sean Murphy, one of the in-form players on the tour, was knocked out in the Champion of Champions opening match earlier this afternoon. Leicester fan beat the British Open and Masters champion by 4 frames to 1 to progress through to tonight's group final, where he'll face Judd Trump after the world #1 beat the women's world champion Bai Lu 4 frames to 1. The winner will earn a place in the semi-final, and play gets underway here at the Mattioli Arena in Leicester in just 15 minutes' time. Welcome back for our first evening session here at the Champion of Champions in Leicester, in the company of Neil Foulds and Alan McManus. It's our 4th venue for the Champion of Champions. Of course, we've spent many years in Coventry. We've been to Bolton, we've been in Milton Keynes. But one thing we do know is people, the fans, the snooker fans, they love this event. The players love it, we love it, but certainly the snooker fans do enjoy the Champion of Champions.
Yeah, the Leicester faithful will come out as the week goes on. They always have been. You think back to Willie Thorne, we've got the great Mark Selby from, local lad, and a few others as well. So it builds nicely. I do like the format, the groups as we call them. It's always been a terrific event.
Let's take a look at what happened this afternoon, Neil, because we had a couple of really exciting matches to kick things off this week. Let's start with that Leicester fan Sean Murphy match, because Sean Murphy undoubtedly has been the form player this season.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's an understatement to say it, but he was displeased after the match, that's the best I can put it. But he was beaten by the better player, there's no doubt about that. Leicester fan played great stuff. He's beaten him in the Scottish when he won it. He knocked Kyron out on day 1 of the world. He's done all these things. He's no back number. He's a really improving player. He's just not the most talked about Chinese up-and-coming player, but he's really good, and Sean Murphy was on the receiving end today.
Yeah, I mean, he was disappointed. He said, he was tired of coming back from China. Wasn't sure when he was playing. Disappointed to be first up in that match. However, he did pay tribute to Leicester fan, who did play ever so well, Alan.
Leicester fan has one string to his bow that suits him in this tournament, in my opinion. He prefers the big stage than the back tables. He's always been like that. We saw it, almost a year ago in Edinburgh, and that plays into not so much his hands tonight, because he's obviously up against Judd, but there's more players on the other way on the tour. He's on the side of it where the big stage, I say, it suits him.
A word on that Judd Trump Bai Lu match. Bai Lu took the first frame in the match and had a great chance to go 3-2 in that 5th frame, didn't she?
What a frame that would have been to win, She did win the first frame, but Judd had made a break of 71 in this frame. And Bai Lu needed a snooker on the last red to tie. She got 2, and then she could clear. It's a pity she missed that black. Obviously, Judd doesn't see it that way. But to take the match even longer would have been a real great effort by her. And she is a very seriously good player, potentially up there with the best women players, because Rihanna's won all the big titles. I suspect Bai might win a #2 over the years.
Yeah, well, listen, let's take a quick look at the format for this week here at the Champion of Champions. 16 players in the draw, into 4 groups. They're split, 1 group competing every day. Each group comprises of 2 best-of-7 matches and then a best-of-11 final. The 4 group winners then form the semi-finals on Friday and Saturday before the grand final on Sunday. So, as we've said, it is a great format. We like it very much. And let's take a look at the groups, though, because they are tough, aren't they? We've got tomorrow what looks like the group of death.
Yeah, and to simplify that draw for people at home, the top 2 will meet in the semi-final. Kyron's group is tomorrow, so the winner of that will face the winner of tonight. But yeah, they're all good, they're all very competitive. But you're right, tomorrow that is a humdinger of a group with, Lazowski and guys like that coming in.
We've seen in the past sometimes the Champion of Champions featuring players who've maybe made it in on the ranking list because we've had a player dominate, or a couple of players dominate the tournaments and take all the titles. Not the case this year, because take a look at that. Every single person in the draw has come because they have won a title, and that just shows how open and unpredictable this season has been nil.
You think of all the dominant players in the past, you know, your Stephen Hendrys, your Ronnie O'Sullivan, your Steve Davis and the likes. They've won multiple tournaments. This season, you can't get by the fact there's only been one winner, individually of anything. And also, the last two tournaments last year won by John Higgins and Xiao Jintong, so you can add two more to that if you wanted to and say we've still got nobody who's won twice since about the start of April of earlier this year. So that is an amazing... I don't think the game's ever been as unpredictable as it is now. You know, you think an amateur won the World Championship, extraordinary. So isn't it a great time, for snooker when these things are happening?
Yeah, it's tremendous.
Yeah, I mean, you think that O'Sullivan, Trump, Higgins are not on that winners this season, so that kind of tells it all, doesn't it?
Well, listen, the Judd Trump and Lei Pei Fan are the first two players in action battling for a place in the last four. Let's hear from the ace in the pack now. He has been speaking to Rob Walker after that win against Bai Yulu.
Judd, through to the group final, but what a spirited performance from Bai Yulu.
Yeah, I mean, she started off good. She had a few chances, just missed a couple of balls. So, yeah, in the end, I didn't have to work that hard for my chances, but yeah, it was a good win.
Would have been a good dish for her had she not missed the black there at the end to pull one back. She's shown some good glimpses of form this season. Had the breaker 145 at the International Championship. She's a quality player.
Yeah, I mean they're all improving. So I've practiced a lot with Onyi in Hong Kong, and I played her recently, and she played good against me as well. So the long potting is all very good. It's just about maybe just cutting out the simple mistakes, really. I think they're just learning to play on the big stage in front of the big players. So, but all their levels are definitely rising from where they were maybe like 5 years ago.
And on to tonight, Lei Pei Fan played some magnificent snooker against another informed player this year, Shaun Murphy. He's a dangerous opponent tonight.
Yeah, I mean, everyone in this tournament's dangerous, so everyone's won something, and yeah, I mean, every game is pretty much a 50-50, so go out there, try and raise my level a little bit and see what happens.
I think Stephen jumped on that comment there from Judd Trump, 50-50. You know, he is the world number one. He's playing a player well down the rankings from him. Does that tell us something about where Judd is at the minute?
I don't think he is the world number one at the moment. Not the way he's playing. He is numerically and factually on the website and all that thing, but not the way he's playing. If he doesn't play better tonight, if he gives the chances that he gave Bai Yulu this afternoon to Lei Pei Fan tonight, he might be in deep trouble because, mentioned Lei Pei Fan loves the big stage, doesn't he? So it's a big night for Judd.
It's fair call, you can't argue with that. I mean, obviously he's number one because he's got more ranking points. But yeah, right now, the last time he lifted a trophy was the 1st of December. The reason I remember it was actually the same day as our dear friend Terry Griffiths passed away. That's how I remember the date so vividly. But that was when the UK Championship was last year. He's got this different cue, right? Or he certainly has had it in recent weeks. I haven't seen him play really well with it yet, and I'm sure that time will come if he persists with it. And he's going to come back. But Alan's right, he's not quite there yet, for sure. And this is not an easy game for him this evening.
He's too good a player, surely, Alan, not to win a tournament in 2025. He has been a consistent winner over the last few years, a multiple winner. He's a natural-born winner. You're
right, but the way that he's playing, it's justified that he hasn't won. And I do have concerns about this cue. Without getting deeply into it, I think it's too firm for him. There's not enough give in it. I think he likes to play with a lot of side. He's struggling when he plays with a lot of side, in my opinion. What will he fear about Lei Pei Fan, do you think, Neil?
I think, Alan said he's not frightened to win. He beat his great rival, Kyron Wilson, at the Crucible. He's an extremely good player, Lei Pei Fan. He's dangerous, he's quick, he pots the important balls, and he's a little bit unpredictable as well as a player. You don't quite know what he's going to do next. So he's a tough player. Last thing I'll say about Judd, he was a frame away from winning in Belfast. He's doing OK, isn't he? But he's just not quite... There's almost a compliment in there somewhere, isn't there? That he hasn't quite done it yet.
Before we go to the break and get this match underway, quick prediction then. Go on, Al.
I think Lei Pei Fan, that long red that Neil flagged up earlier and we showed, tells me he's really on it. I think Lei Pei Fan's going to win this tonight.
I think Judd will win, but I believe it to be a really close game.
Great stuff. OK, when we come back then, we'll get play underway here at the Champion of Champions. Judd Trump, winner of this tournament 4 years ago, takes on Scottish Open champion Lei Pei Fan for a place in the semi-final. Welcome back to Leicester, where we're all set for our first group final as Judd Trump faces Lei Pei Fan for a place in the semi-final here at the Champion of Champions at the Mattioli Arena in Leicester. One previous meeting between these two, it was the world number one that came out on top at the Players' Championship. That was back in March. We'll hear from David Hendon and Stephen Hendry in the commentary box shortly, but first here's our MC Tahir Hadjat to introduce the players.
Good evening and welcome back as Matchroom Multisport presents to you the 2025 Sportsbet.io Champion of Champions. It's time to find out who our first semi-finalists will be. The two players taken to the table have only ever met once before. How will round two go? It's time to welcome them into the arena. Up first, a man making his debut here at the Champion of Champions. Let's hear it for Lei Pei Fan. And his opponent is the 2021 Champion of Champions, the ace in the pack, Judd Trump.
Judd would like to call. Heads called, heads it is.
So the first group
Okay,
final
Judd to break, thank you.
of this week's Champion of Champions. Judd Trump wasn't at his best earlier, but he still won relatively comfortably. Lei Pei Fan really took the game to Sean Murphy
Thank you, have a good game.
and sprung something of an upset there.
Thank you, first frame.
Of course, it's now best
Judd
of
Trump
11.
to break.
It's Judd Trump's 12th appearance. Sorry, I should say from 12 previous appearances in the Champion of Champions, he's won the group 6 times. So half the time he's played in it before, he's won through to the semis, and indeed he's been in 5 finals. It's a tournament he invariably comes good in. But we've already seen Lei Pei Fan doesn't seem to mind who he plays. Just on what the guys were saying in the studio about Judd Trump, of course he is world number 1 on the 2-year list, but on this season's points, he's 17th. So that does show you that he has lost some ground against the other top players. Can all change, of course. Not here, this is not a ranking event, but the next big one for him will be the UK Championship.
Foul and a miss for Lei Pei Fan. One.
Nice little opening pot to the left corner for Lei Pei Fan. Would have expected to have been left a red from that escape by Judd Trump. Yeah, if you go by form this afternoon, Lei Pei Fan has definitely been the better of these two players.
3.
If Judd is not able to stamp his authority on this match early tonight, he could be in for, bluntly, a defeat. Because this guy at the table is not afraid of anyone.
No, we saw it in that opening frame, didn't we, against Murphy? He was in front and
11.
staying on the black for potential maximum. Broke down, and the question was, could Lei Pei Fan punish? And he did. He made a frame-winning break. And that kind of set the tone for that first match.
12.
Their only previous meeting, the Players' Championship, earlier this year, Trump won there 6-2.
$19.
On the other side
20.
of the coin, if Lei Pei Fan can get a good start in this match, well, what a chance, because Judd he won't be as, he's human, he won't be as confident as he normally is, basically because, as we keep saying, he's not won a tournament this year. And when you're used to winning as regularly as Judd is, that's like a shock to the system. You're not used to going into matches slightly lower in confidence. You're used to going into matches with an air of superiority.
26.
He's lost that at the minute, and that's what gives the other players a bit of encouragement.
$27. $32. $33.
I mentioned after his match this afternoon, I thought his
38.
cue ball wasn't great this afternoon, Lei Pei Fan. He kept on having to pop himself kind of out of trouble, but so far, well, in saying that, I was going to say so far in this frame it's been pretty good, but that was a little bit of a misstep. Not always guaranteed when the cue ball's cannoning into another red, but this black is a lot thinner than he would have wanted. He wanted the cue ball as it hits the other red here to go through at least another 3 or 4 inches. Now this black is missable.
Well, he's potted it, but it's the same problem now, faced with
46.
a more difficult pot than he would have liked. He's not really known for scoring, to be perfectly honest. He turned pro 2019 first of all and has made 38 centuries. Will Yizha, who just won the International Championship, he turned pro 2 years later and last week made his 100th century. And indeed, Lei Pei Fan yet to make a 140 on tour.
Thank you.
But he can pot.
47.
Yeah, and that stat that you mentioned about the only having made that amount of centuries, and that's I suspect down to, or a lot of it's down to the cue ball control. Because without that, you're not going to score heavily all the time, and eventually it does catch up with you.
47.
End up missing a tough pot.
Yeah, it's just building up, wasn't it, to the break ending. Trump, of course, he's known very much for centuries. 107, a record last season. Well, he's left a chance here for Trump to get in this opening frame.
One.
I can't believe he really thinks every match here is 50-50. He must, with his record, feel that he deserves to be the favourite this evening, and indeed in most matches.
Four.
Again, it was stretching a bit, but it wasn't the sweetest strike on the cue ball.
Five.
Nice recovery though. And absolutely perfectly on the blue. Doesn't need to go into the red. There is an open red there, but you'd be tempted purely because the pink and black are out of commission. Decided against it.
Ten. Eleven.
That was a decent little flick on the blue, purely because it stopped the cue ball going on that left cushion, which would have made the next pot very difficult. That was a much better strike.
14. Fifteen.
Again, you could play to screw into the pink here. Again, decided against it. It was a pretty big target. If you'd gone to the left side of the pink, you would have got
20.
pink and red and brought everything into the open. Okay, there is reds to play for, but that red that's touching the pink is not potable. May bring it out here. Oh, I think that's what he tried.
21.
Yeah, just the shot in the blue. It's a shot that if you're full of confidence, I think you play it. Sometimes when you're a little bit lower in confidence, you play the more guaranteed positional shot. You tend to not to take as many risks. And he's played the cannon here. To be fair to him, he's played it pretty well, but playing it with only two reds
23.
there, it was more difficult to land on one. So maybe missed a trick earlier on in this break. This is still potable.
24.
Well, this cue ball has roamed around a bit, hasn't it? But he's still going.
$27. $28.
There's been a lot of sort of little looks from Judd. Certain times where the cue balls ended up. I don't think it's the quickest table in the world. I think Sean as well found it quite tricky. He's landing short on a lot of positional shots. And Judd the same.
33. $35.
So he will need the black.
38.
Yeah, and it's the wrong side of the table, obviously, for a left-hander. So I would suggest he may, if he gets the opportunity, play to move it, because you wouldn't fancy trying
42.
to pot that with the rest.
$47.
Not sure if he's got the angle. Play off the black cushion with topspin, left-hand side. Try and move the black. No, he's played to go in behind it. Didn't have the angle.
53.
Okay, these pockets I think are a little bit more generous than at some tournaments. Playing it right-handed. Very, very awkward. And even more awkward with the rest, which he uses his right hand to play with as well. This is missable.
Doesn't seem to like either option here. But in he goes.
16 on the
So he
fair.
won that black ball
Johnson.
frame to beat Bai Yilu earlier. He wins the first here against Lei Pei Fan. Within the end, a really good clearance. Best of 11 to reach the semis. Judd Trump, 1-0 up. Welcome back to Leicester. First night of the Champion of Champions.
Thank you.
Always a great
Second
highlight
frame.
of the snooker year.
Leigh Pei Fan the
Judd
break.
Trump was the winner 4 years ago. He's lost in 4 other finals in this tournament. He's up against Leigh Pei Fan, making his debut in the event. Beat Shaun Murphy earlier today and was going well in that first frame before Trump made a 60 clearance to steal it.
Yeah, and a pretty cool clearance it was, you have to say. Pink and black were out of commission at the start of the break, but yeah, it took them very well.
Oh, it's gone in.
Foul for Judd Trump.
Well, it wriggled and wriggled, but it didn't drop. And of course, it's right over the pocket now for Leigh Pei Fan.
One. Eight. Thank you. 9.
They judged that nicely. We mentioned before his scoring, or lack of it, if you like, of heavy scoring. It's what you've got to do against the top players. And even though it's the very start of the frame, you're in first. You've got to make these chances pay. That's how you put pressure on the top players. If they see you getting in like this and you're breaking down on 30, 40, 50 all the
16.
time, it helps them relax. It just doesn't put them under any pressure at all. So even though he's only on 16, it's earlier in the frame, these are chances that Leigh Pei Fan's got to convert, I think, if he's going to win tonight. You can obviously win scrappy frames, but generally, you need to be scoring heavily at these opportunities.
17.
Well, the first century he ever made as a pro was actually against Ronnie O'Sullivan on TV. He seems to just save it for when he's playing the big guns. When he won that Scottish Open last season,
24.
6 different players who'd won ranking events along the way. You know, it was all players very experienced.
25.
Not a bad angle in the blue to go into the pink here. Try and get a full contact on the pink, keep the cue ball in the middle of the table. Oh, that does surprise me. That really does surprise me.
30.
Will he get a better chance to go into the bunch than that?
$31.
Okay, this is a nice angle in the black. Okay, a little bit lower on the cue ball, but you could actually play this with top spin almost. Just top into the reds. Let the cue ball just follow through the reds. Yep, played nicely.
$38.
And you can see from that angle there, he's not landed perfectly on a red. This red to right corner is missable with the rest.
Leicester fan, 38.
You have to question whether he fully committed to that pot there. I'm just saying that because of where the cue ball has ended up, down the bulk end of the table. Wasn't confident enough in potting it to play position on a high value colour. That's a shocker from Judd.
One.
So it's a second chance, and he didn't have to do anything to earn it. Trump played a poor safety. And of course, previously Lepe Fan had opened the reds, so with the lead he's already got, it's a golden chance
6.
really to make it one each. This is the thing with winning a tournament now. There are so many perks. It's not just the one win. You get the rankings boost. You get invited into this great event. Lepe Fan got into a couple of the Players' Series events as well last season. And also other players, of course, start to look at him differently. They know now he can win tournaments. So he's become a danger man. He enhanced that status, of course, beating Conor Wilson day one at the Crucible.
$14. 15. $22. 23. 30.
Well, there you see it. It's red and colour needed.
$31.
Oh, could have been nicer on this. Or is he on the pink? Well, if he's on the pink, then he's okay. Yeah, so, frame ball. And as I say, you didn't have to work to get in for this visit. Trump played a very bad safety by his standards, having made the good clearance in frame one.
Thank you. 37. $38. $45. $46.
There is just about enough on for what would be the first century of this year's tournament.
$53. $54.
Yeah, you wouldn't say his technique is as easy on the eye as a
59.
lot of players. He's not got the sort of flair or the elegance of a lot of players. But I tell
60.
you what, he's effective. He's a fantastic potter. And I think he's a match for anyone.
67.
Yeah, he's a very aggressive player, isn't he? You know, he loves to go for his shots, and that in itself puts pressure on opponents.
68.
Last year, Zhang Guidong came here for the first time to this tournament.
74.
Wasn't sure what to expect. He beat Ronnie O'Sullivan and Mark Selby on the same day. Ended up getting to the final.
76. $79. $83.
So it really was a big mistake from Trump to let him back in.
88.
How confident is Trump really feeling? We're not sure. Certainly, though, you've got to feel not as confident as this time last year
94.
when he'd already won 3 tournaments. Terrific clearance, 701. Late Pei Fan takes the first century of this year's Champion of Champions to level up at 1 each with Judd Trump. The winner of the group will play whoever prevails from tomorrow's group of death with Karen Wilson, Jack Lazowski, Mark Allen and Zhao Xingtong. Brutal group.
One.
Well, he spent a long time looking at that Lei Pei Fan, but he stuck Trump bang in.
Six. Seven. $14. 15. 22. 23. 30. 31. 38.
Yeah, no good. Puff of the cheeks, that'll frustrate him. So used to seeing him
Trump, 38.
just take control of matches early on. Not happening here though.
1.
Another full-blooded pot, but he's not on the black.
Yeah, but at the very least it does send a message to Judd Trump that his safety's got to be better. Because Li Pei Fan is not afraid to take them on. You could see there, if he missed it, he was leaving probably the frame on for his opponent, but fully committed.
Li Pei Fan 1. One.
And again, it's an opening that Li Pei Fan has done nothing to himself to earn. It's just come to him. It's not his problem, of course, but Trump is just giving him chances.
Eight.
I think Trump's brother Jack has got some work to do in the interval. He needs to get him a bit more fired up, I think. He's very good at getting his brother in the right frame of mind. There's no doubt his opponent. He's bang up for this evening.
16. $17.
The 4 reds above the black, he'd love to flick the right hand red of those 4. That would leave 1 to left corner. He may just go into the bottom one with pace. Yeah, that was a poor shot. It really was.
24.
You know, going back to the very best players with their cue ball control, they would have played that little cannon. When the shot that he played, you're trusting to luck a little bit. It's like you don't trust your cue ball to make that cannon. He would have known that was the right shot, but played the more sort of conservative way, just to hope to be on a red.
Li Pei Fan 24.
Don't think our colleague Alan McManus will be raving about some of the safety played in this match so far. It's another error. Ooh, but Trump unable to take advantage.
Yeah, plain and simple. That's just a very bad piece of cueing. That's all that is. Very poor technique. It's right across it. So much unwanted side in the cue ball there. And those are debilitating, those misses, because you know you've just cued them so badly.
Eight.
Well, rather sheepish look on his face. He's lost good position again. Where's this red going?
Leipe fan, 8.
Well, he has covered it. So he can't pot it directly. Yeah, it's a very open table, isn't it? So many reds he could leave here. The one on the cushion is the only one you can see directly. Did his best to get the cue ball down towards baulk, but hasn't quite made it to the baulk line. So another chance from distance for Trump. Oh dear, massively overcut it.
Yeah, a long way away. Again, it just looks to me, especially on these sort of trickier pots from distance, it doesn't look confident, Judd.
1.
That was, although it was quite a fine one, it was actually it was a more comfortable shot. There was no pressure on it, and he was able to play it plain ball. So I wouldn't include that on the sort of the list of shots that he's finding difficult.
Judd Trump, 1. Okay, thank you. Foul and a miss for Judd Trump. One. Six. Judd Trump, 6.
Well, just a very scrappy frame, isn't it? 16 points in it. Trump, yeah, looking a little frustrated with things. You can understand it because we all know the dazzling snooker he can play. That was a big chance missed to get him in trouble. Well, it's a long night ahead. The long ones just not going in, are they? In sort of regularity once. There you see, 33% on both sides, but Trump's taken twice as many on from distance. Well, could that be the fatal error in this frame? You would think so. Trump's already 16 in front, so the green isn't an issue for him.
1. Six. Seven.
The beauty of snooker is that every frame counts the same, whether you've made a maximum or just scrapped it out in bits and pieces, which is what this frame's been. This ready should be in front.
14. 15.
It's been hard work, and let's be honest, he has relied on a few mistakes from Lei Pei Fan, who's made plenty in this frame, despite the century in the previous one.
22. 24. Judd Trump 24 on the frame.
So not a vintage frame, I think it's fair to say, but Judd Trump has won it. And he leads this group final here in Leicester this evening by 2 frames to 1.
Fourth frame.
In this
Lei Pei
group
found the
final.
break.
Catalogue of errors, you've got to say, in that last frame. In fact, Lei Pei Fan's safety success is down at 54%. So it really did plummet during that last frame.
This is, again, was quite a big shot to take on. Okay, he's not left Judd anything easy, if anything. Oh, he did leave the fine cut to the corner.
One.
So again, it's an aggressive shot choice from Lei Pei Fan. I don't disagree with it. I think if you're going to be the very best, you've got to attack them. You can't just sit in your chair and wait for opportunities.
Six.
Well, if he's found an unmissable plant, that's a nice little gift. Because he didn't land nicely on anything, really. So this is, he'll be grateful for this.
7.
But once again, coming up short with his position. Have to go in and out of bulk here. He's one of the best the game's ever seen at this shot. He just has effortless cue power. Just to do whatever he wants with that cue ball.
12.
Loads of right-hand side on it there. Come off 2 cushions.
13.
It's a tricky little black here. It's safely in, and this is the sort of position that, well, Judd Trump at his best, you could pretty much say it's 3-1.
20. 21. 28. 29.
Well, he's played in every edition of the Champion of Champions, all 13. Only Mark Selby can also boast that. Just shows how consistent a winner Trump has been. Which I guess is why it is a surprise that in 2025 he's yet to win a
36.
trophy. But that said, if he were to win one, you could see
37.
normal service resumed, and by the time the season ends, several more on the mantelpiece. So it could be a big week for Trump. If he can get through this match, he's got a few days off to put some work in ahead of the weekend.
44. 45. 45.
Well, where did that come from? I mean, the stage was really set there for a big frame-winning break. And good feelings at the interval could be replaced by the opposite, missing that. If he loses the frame from that, he's going to be struggling at the intermission.
1.
That's just an inexplicable miss, it really is. I mean, a hand on the table, about a foot between the cue ball and the black ball. And it's just completely taking your eyes off the pot, taking it for granted.
7.
Watching the cue ball, all these things Yeah, that was a horrible miss. It's almost like a shock to the system.
8.
He's probably going round for the next red and then looked and went, oh, I've missed a black. Can't believe it.
Well, the balls we've seen him pot down the
14.
years, the unlikely shots he's made, and then to miss that is it's just a real body blow, just as he's looking to build up confidence in this match.
$15.
It really is poor to cannon the blue full ball there. Yeah. Acres of space to land on anything. One of the baulk colours, blue itself, now has got this missable shot with the rest on the yellow. And that'll make Judd feel a bit
15.
better. It's always nice to see your opponent butcher an opportunity like that when you had a real chance to get back into the frame.
One. Blue ball. Six. Seven.
So it's fair to say he has fed off a few errors from Lepe Fan, who, let's not forget, made a century in the frame he won. But Trump, again, just checking the scores, he knows that
13.
this is to leave his opponent needing a snooker.
14.
Yeah, he didn't win it in one visit and didn't have those good feelings from doing so, but I guess the main thing to get to the interval 3-1 up. He's missed that, so it is only one required.
Judd Trump, 14.
Yeah, it's a very subdued Judd Trump, you'd have to say, even that pink. Okay, the frame's won, but it was kind of a half-hearted attempt at potting it. The real Judd Trump is not out there at the moment. Puff of the cheeks there kind of tells its own story, that it's even though he's going to, looks like having a 3-1 lead at the interval, it's not been the way he wants to play it. Judd didn't want to gift Lepe Fan an opportunity to pot this last two reds, two blacks, because if he can pot the yellow and get the cue ball
8.
kind of in the D, good chance of getting the cue ball in behind the pink, which would be a nasty snooker. Wow.
9.
Chosen to play for pink here.
15. Lee Pei Fan, 15.
Again, a little disappointing visit to the table for Lei Pei Fan. It's quite comfortable to put 2 reds, 2 blacks there and possibly get in a position to lay a telling snooker. Black's in a decent position.
Two. Lee Pei Fan, 2.
No, the yellow was actually a better shot than it looked. To get the cue ball into the bulk area in order to lay that snooker shouldn't be a difficult hit. Wow.
Foul.
It shouldn't have
4.
been.
Lee Pei Fan. Free ball.
That was a big target,
From
that
there,
green.
From there, please.
Well, a frame that was sort of petering out has suddenly become huge, hasn't it? Lei Pei Fan's got the snooker he needed. Oh, what's he done here? Done the frame, I suspect. Well, the cue ball just caught the bump of the corner pocket there, but he can still cut this in. I mean, he made that century, but otherwise it's been pretty ragged, it's got to be said, from a man who beat Sean Murphy a few hours ago.
Three.
Judd Trump's highest break 60. It's not been particularly fluent from him, but looks like he is going to be leading by 2 at the interval.
Judd Trump, 3. Four.
At times it's been a bit of a struggle. Trump was poised to win this frame in one visit. He missed that black off the spot out of nowhere.
9.
But ultimately, he's going to win the frame, and Lei Pei Fan needs to tighten up in a few areas. Because if Judd Trump is still here at the weekend, of course he can still win this Champion of Champions. He's not at his best, but he is on top at the interval of this match. He leads Lei Pei Fan 3-1.
Well, it may not be vintage Trump, but the world number one has done enough to take a 3-1 lead in this Champion of Champions group final against Lei Pei Fan. Errors on both sides reflected in their pot success, but Trump winning the safety battle, though Lei Pei Fan with the highest break of the match and the day so far, that 101 in the second frame. So while the players take a break, I am joined by Neil and Alan. Neil, it's really interesting to see the way this one's developed. It could easily have gone in 2-2 at the mid-sesh interval there. But Trump is just doing enough at the minute. What do you think the biggest problem he's got at the moment is? Is it that he's still getting used to this new cue?
I just don't know. I mean, you're right. It's not vintage Trump, as you said. You know, he's just playing OK in spells. But not well enough to actually win tournaments. You know, he nearly won in Belfast. He played OK last week in the International and then was blown away from 4-0 up by Wu Yizu, who won it. And tonight he threw one up and he's missed a few, let's be honest. You know, some of the shots we're going to show aren't all pots because it's not been quite like that. He's in front, but it's not the lights-out snooker we've seen before.
No, that's right. I mean, in frame one, we see a lot of good stuff from Lei Pei Fan, but eventually he gets a night. I think he made 47, and we'll see this here. He's got a safety shot, and I don't like ever using the word amateurish, but that's exactly what this is. His cue ball has no cover going up the right wing. He's bound to push a red to the left edge, and you know, away from the pack. And Judd, to his credit, makes a lovely 60 clearance with loads of Jekyll, as we call in the trade, with the cue ball, Jekyll and Hyde side there onto the black, and then right-handed down the cushion, and then it goes. And so it was a good steal, but we expect that from Judd. That's the champion in him. And then into frame two, there's some more good stuff, Neil, isn't there, from Lei?
Yeah, that's right. You know, Judd committed to that black in the last frame, I thought, by just dropping it in. But, you know, here we see Lei Pei Fan. He's a little short on this, but he does get the bunch of reds open. And, you know, he scores pretty well, as Jill said. You know, this is the highest break of the match. He's knocked in a century break. This was the shot, though, where he got all the points from, because this was quite a serious safety error, really. I mean, I know there's a red down there, but he didn't ever look like missing the red and getting the cue ball back down the table. And then, you know, Pei Fan, he got a bit lucky here because the pink went to middle. Your eyes were drawn, how's he going to cut the black in? But then you realise the pink goes, and that was what levelled the match.
And this is more of the mystery man kind of shot. I don't know why he's playing that. He's definitely going to cannon the other red and release it from the cushion, which he does. Judd goes and mops them up. So his overall match play is nowhere near the level that Trump is. You know, Trump then gets about his business, and then I don't know what happened with this one, Neil.
No, it's just a regulation black off the spot, isn't it? You know, I know he's guarding the cue ball. There's no real excuse, so you can find 10 reasons why anyone could miss a ball, but there aren't 10 there. In the end, he won the frame. There was a few twists at the end because Lei Pei Fan got the snooker, but it is 3-1 to Trump.
And you could see from Lei Pei Fan's face there, he's got the towel up. He said he knew he's missed an opportunity there. You look at his long pot success, Judd. He's taken on 9, got 4. He's missed a couple of these long reds that we're so used to him seeing nail.
Yeah.
You can forgive that. That black off the spot, so uncharacteristic for Judd Trump.
Yeah, very much so. You know, at this level, I mean, you just don't see these shots missed. He's cut it to the bottom jaw. And I don't know, there's too much of that going on, isn't there?
The other surprising thing about it, Judd's one of the most tuned-in players always. He takes nothing for granted, but that one, he was tuned in. You know, he's got his eyes on it. I picked my spot. For whatever reason, he's flicking a bit of side on.
Listen, he'll be getting his head together. Make no mistake about that. We know what a born winner he is. As far as Lei Pei Fan's concerned, though, Neil, if you were in his corner, what would you be saying to him now? Well,
I mean, he's been playing well all day, you know. I mean, he's scoring as well. You could argue the better of the two. He's a very unpredictable player. You know, it'd be a difficult player to coach because you don't know what he's going to do next. He plays, as Alan said, a couple of odd shots here or there where you think, why has he played that option? But other times he's quite dangerous as well. So 3-1 down in the best of 11, he's not out of this match. He's just got to do what he's been doing, but just do it a little bit better, I think. OK, we'll take a break, but it's Judd Trump who leads Lei Pei Fan 3 frames to 1 at the mid-session interval. When we return, we'll bring you the conclusion of our first group final here at the Champion of Champions.
We are 4 frames into our first group final here at the Champion of Champions, and Judd Trump leads Lei Pei Fen 3-1. Remember, best of 11, so Trump needs 3 more frames to make the semi-finals. Time to get the action back underway, and Phil Yates is alongside Ken Doherty in the commentary box.
Jill, thank you very much. I think it's fair to say this match so far has been interesting without being high quality. The one exception to that, the way that Lei Pei Fen won the second frame with a break of 101. Trump will be happy with the scoreline, but he will want an improvement in performance, I think, Ken. That's quite clear.
Yeah, absolutely. A few uncharacteristic misses, mistakes in those 4 frames. He'd like to sharpen up a little bit. I think Lei Pei Fen will be more aggrieved of the 2 players with the scoreline. He's had his chances. Very close, and he loves going for a shot still. He's not holding back. Very confident in his long potting ability, and that one got very, very close indeed.
We saw briefly there the fact that Lei Pei Fen has scored more points than Trump, even though he's 3-1 adrift. That's because he won the one clear-cut frame. Trump's wins have all been in tighter affairs. That pattern might change here, though, Ken.
Well, that was a wonderful shot. Lots of power, which he's blessed with, of course. And he needed it there.
9.
And it's worked out a treat. Have a look at the reds. He's got 5 reds, at least in the open. Maybe even 6. That one at the left of the pack pots as well.
14. 15.
Even these great players, top players, you know, even with the lead at 3-1, yes, they'll be sort of relieved to be 3-1, but he won't have enjoyed it too much. He wants to, you know, put on a show in front of the TV, in front of this crowd.
22. 23.
That red left of the pack does pot into this bottom right corner pocket, so you can play on that or the one into the right centre at the same time. That's exactly what he's done.
30.
Now, decision to make. Does he take this red at the bottom of the pack, try and split some reds, or does he clean up maybe the red into the right middle? There is an element of risk when playing this shot. Could have always gone into that
31.
red. And needs a good shot to keep the break going. Well, that was a really good pot. And needed a little bit of pressure because he was always going to leave something, but safely in, and now a great chance.
39.
Initiated scoring in the previous frame with 45 before missing a bread and butter black off its spot.
44.
Hard to comprehend he would make a similar mistake here.
45. 52. 53.
Yeah, nice little stun cannon, just moving another red into a potable position while still staying nicely on the black. This red does pot into the right centre, but he's also looking at the pink. Black looks more straightforward here.
$60. Judd Trump, 60.
Well, I said it was hard to comprehend that Trump would make a similar mistake, and he has. This red to middle, not quite as much a gimme as the black he missed in frame 4, but it was one we fully expected him to knock in. In the fourth frame, after Trump had missed the black, Lepe Fan had a great chance to respond, made only 15 before a poor positional shot left him on a tough yellow, which he missed.
Yeah, could have taken on a red there, but played a clever little shot, took the red that was closest to that left-hand side cushion, brought it into play. So if he does get a possibility of a chance at a pot, all reds will be open. Just going to try and knock this red to the cushion now.
As is always the case here, two competing agendas. Trump wants to make the table. Lepe Fan wants to make the table as open as possible. Because, Ken, the actual value of a lead in this circumstance isn't the numerical value, it's where the remaining balls are. And if in the open, Trump would be entitled to feel a little vulnerable.
Yeah, absolutely. One mistake could prove costly, even with a 60-point advantage. It's a little bit of snooker's equivalent to a game of cat and mouse at the moment. Just vying for an opportunity here, Lepe Fan. Once again, try and bring this red away from this right-hand side cushion. Leave cue ball tight on this top cushion, but at the same time getting the red out into open play. Well, he's looking at a different shot now. Possibility of a pot, maybe. This red beneath the blue, down into this bottom left corner. This is going to go over this left centre is a cuttable. It certainly is, but the cue ball, well, we won't have much control over it. May be able to dig down on the cue ball and play it with a lot of screw, but it's very missable. That's why he's coming around to have a look at the angle into a blind pocket. Yeah, he's judged it nicely. Yeah, good shot.
That kind of shot is all about commitment. The pocket entrance is quite wide, actually. But cutting back into a blind pocket, you're never quite sure whether you got the right potting angle, so you need to commit to your decision. And Trump did that, and now 4-1 very much beckons.
Yeah, the shot on the green, it was just to try and make sure of the pot, and then just a little bit of luck with the cue ball. Never really knew where it was going, but it was a lovely, delightful little kiss on a red. Let's set him up now.
12. Thirteen. 20. 21. 26.
The Reds seem to pull out there.
26.
Thankfully for Trump, the fact it remained on the table will not affect the outcome of the frame. It's the quickest frame of the match so far, and Judd Trump is 2 away from victory. On day one of the Champion of Champions, a former winner of this fine tournament, is seemingly heading towards the semi-finals. But Judd Trump is not in top gear by any stretch of the imagination. He leads Leicester Fan 4-1, holding all the aces. Ideally for Trump, he would like to win these next couple of frames impressively. Then he'll spend the rest of the week trying to prepare for the semi-finals, which seem a while off. the way that Trump is playing, you can't completely discount a Lepe fan recovery.
Yeah, it's quite a long way away from that attempt on the red. It's unusual for him. Get a nice kiss on the red, and he'd be perfect on the black. Nicely controlled. And he's certainly be encouraged, Lepe fan. Okay, he's made a few mistakes, but he'd be certainly be encouraged by what he's seen from Trump and some of the mistakes that he's made, some of the glaring missed pots that you don't normally see from Judd Trump. And if he can win a frame in one visit,
9,
which he has to start doing, it'll give him even more encouragement. He generally goes about the break where he tries to pick off the loose reds, but I'd really like to see him get a nice angle on the black here. And even though there's still one more loose red available left of the blue, but try and get a nice angle on the black here while you can. Take the opportunity to go into the pack. Try and make something happen. Oh, there you go again. He just wants to pick them off. But sometimes you leave it to the last red and you don't get the proper
22.
angle, desired angle on your colour to split the reds. Now you see he's shaking the head. He's not on this red the way he would have liked. So a bit of work to do.
$23.
He went into them with gusto, but
30.
not a great reward, it seems.
Yeah, the problem with
Lepe
that
fan 30.
type of shot, Phil, as you know, you need so much power, so much top spin on the cue ball to split those reds, where a few shots ago he'd have got a lovely angle on the black. Could have taken a chance, tried to make something happen. Once again, breaks down very early.
I think it's worth reminding ourselves what happened in Trump's last tournament, the International Championship last week. He was 4-0 up at the interval against Wu Yuze in the last 16, lost 6-4, aggregated only 18 points in the next 6 frames. Of course, Wu Yuze went on to break through into the winner's circle, capturing the title yesterday. But Trump losing a single session match from 4-0 up is a rarity indeed.
Foul and a miss. 4. Li Pei Fan.
Well, it's only going to be 4 points, but it's not a bad miss because he saw the line. And he can play the same shot again and just play it a little bit firmer, and he should land at the bottom.
Yes.
With that pack of reds, just got to be careful of missing the black, but same sort of angle, bit harder. This looks a bit short as well.
Foul and a miss for Li Pei Fan.
Now, you won't be warned here because he's snookered on all red, so it's only when you can see a ball full that you would be warned if you manage 2 misses in a row.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you. A bit closer. Check out for me, please. Yeah. Thank you.
Well, it's short again.
Foul and a miss for Li Pei Fan. Thank you.
You might say, why doesn't he just hit the white ball a little harder? But the fact is, in snooker, it's all about muscle memory. And when it comes to this kind of shot, he is used to hitting the cue ball at that pace and the cue ball reaching. And it's tough to get yourself to give it a little bit more oomph.
Yeah, this looks better. Well, has he left the red? That's what he was concerned about. He's okay. Might be touching ball.
Touching ball.
Well, not tight to that ball cushion and hasn't blocked the path to this red, so it's a straightforward shot here for Li Pei Fan. Oh, he was close. Needs a bit of luck for cover, and he hasn't got it.
One.
Typically bold from Trump. And when you're a player as good as him, you just need one special visit to get yourself going. When Rob Walker interviewed him this afternoon, he said he doesn't feel as though he's too far away from playing well.
3.
And I think that is the case. It's very easy when you're playing superb snooker to
4.
lose it. Not quite so easy when you're playing below your best to achieve peak form, but he could definitely play himself into a tournament and come the final Sunday, be absolutely buzzing. That's the way he is.
Yeah, you're only... You know, he's been
7.
set such a high standard over the last well, 5 or 6 years, winning multiple tournaments per season. And he hasn't done that yet in 2025. But there, of course, he's using the new cue as well, a little bit different. But I totally agree. It only takes one tournament or one really good performance, and he back up to, well, that standard that we're so used to seeing from him. And you see there, Phil, there's a difference in his attitude when he's at the table. First chance, the red, try and split the reds. The green, try and split the reds. No hesitation whatsoever. And I think Pai Fan was looking at this match back again. I think that's where he's broke down. He's tried to pick reds and pick colours and try and take all the easy ones, and instead of being a little bit more aggressive.
11.
Yes, being reluctant to go into the pack when you've got the opportunity is not the recipe for success in modern-day snooker.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, there is a time when you just want to pick off a few just to get your arm going and settle
17.
in, build up some points. But there comes a time where you have to be aggressive. You can't always wait till the last moment to be. You got to be on the front foot. That's the way this man plays the game all the time.
18.
Yeah, so many matches these days are scoring fests. International Championship, which concluded yesterday, featured over 150 centuries.
$24. 25. 31. 32. 39. 40.
He's left a lovely angle on the black here. You can just, those two reds just are close to the black. They're not potable, but delicate little cannon here would bring both of them into play. Oh, he didn't catch it the way he wanted to, and that could be end of break. It's gone wrong.
47.
When you're playing well, when things are going for you, that kind of cannon works out.
Judd Trump, 47.
Yeah, well deserved round of applause, because that was a wonderful return of safety from Lai Pai Fan. There's another good one. Using 4 cushions. Perfect. Excellent.
The double kiss could have been so damaging.
Yeah, good shot that. The brown and the blue were the big target to get behind there. Just try and line up the reds. Nicely played. Trying to nestle on one of these reds around there. Just near this top cushion. It's all about touch. This looks pretty good. Good hit.
Trump took a look to make sure, but the red does not pass the black.
It's not bad. Don't think you can play the plant from that red just to the right of the black onto the red over the corner pocket. And you can't get to the red that's close to the left-hand side cushion. So, no, he's got him snookered. Really good return of safety there from Judd Trump.
Big trouble for Leigh. Cannot afford to fall 4 down with 5 to play.
I'm trying to come off this top cushion, just try and clip this red right at the black and Bring the cue ball back to Bog. Oh. Well, he's covered the red over the corner. But the problem is, for Lei Pei Fan, it's going to be a big, big pocket. Judd can knock this red down the side cushion. If it doesn't go in on its own, it might go in off the red. He'd prefer if it went in off the red because that would free up the pocket.
1.
Well, that was a wonderful shot.
7.
Shot you could miss in a match because you know you're leaving the red.
Eight.
Pink or black here, but the cue ball has to travel a bit of distance. He's got to judge this nicely. Needs to miss that middle. Oh, he has done. What a shot he's played there. Inch perfect.
What an
15.
absolute beauty. Such a small margin of error in so many ways.
$16.
The maths have been done. The black is frame ball.
Yeah, he's done well here.
23.
Trump played a wonderful safety shot when he was in a bit of trouble himself. It had to be
25.
very precise. He got the snooker, forced the error from his opponent, and pounced.
28. $32.
Since the interval, we've had the shortest frame of the match and the lengthiest. They've both gone the same way. The Judd
37.
Trump. And I think there's an argument to say this has been his best frame of the match so far. A trademark
43.
exhibition shot from the ace in the pack.
Judd Trump 43 and frame.
Judd Trump has got 1 foot and several toes in the semi-finals of the Champion of Champions. 1 more frame required. Judd Trump
Thank you.
will be very
The
pleased with the
frame,
way things have
Judd
gone
Trump to
today. He's not been in total control by any means in terms of the way he's winning frames. Rarely, if at all, he's doing it in one visit. But he's getting the job done.
One.
It was a very big night for Leipei Fan. Win this match and he would earn his joint second largest payday as a pro. But from here, Ken, the Scottish Open champion of last season would need something, well, I was going to say special. I think I'll upgrade that to extraordinary.
3. Four.
Yeah, would be some feat, but every great journey starts with a single step. And if he, as I said, he's getting chances. He just got to do exactly what he did in that second frame, make a sizable break. In any sport, momentum is key, and if you can, you get one frame on the board, you get another. And anything can happen. Even the greats of the game have succumbed to
12.
pressure with big leads. You have to believe in yourself as a player, and that's what he has to do here. Forget about what's gone before him. Not easy. He's almost got to play no miss snooker. Tall order. I think it's just great to, to see him play so well. Don't forget he was ranked 84 in the world, struggling
18.
to stay on tour before that wonderful run and lifting his maiden title up in Scotland. Incredible achievement, and
19.
he's followed it up with some really good results since then. Great encouragement as well for players feel down that sort of end of the rankings. They look on players like Leipei Fan struggling, but all of a sudden, one tournament and he's
26.
Catapulted himself up amongst the top 30 players in the world.
27.
Now, what about displacement of reds here?
$32.
Oh, he's having a good look to see if this red passed the black. It's very tight, but I don't think it passes. So just a run, maybe up to the bulk area, but he's got to recover that red. The cue ball is closest to.
Li Pei Fan, 32.
So many reds on the table. He avoided every single one of them. And the angle and weight of the cue ball, pretty good.
Yeah, the excellent safety shot from Judd Trump has forced an opportunity here.
One.
And with the reds situated the way they are, it's a great chance for frame and match here at this visit.
And all top players have
6.
the same mentality in this regard when they get an opportunity of this ilk to cross the line. They are desperate to take it. They get frustrated when they don't.
Yeah, it's almost like they treat it as a personal test
13.
of their own fortitude. Sort of gives them the buzz of trying to finish the match in one visit.
14.
And when you watch it, feeling people watching at home and here, they will think, oh, well, he's 5-1 up, it should be no problem. But if you watch Judd
20.
Trump around the table now, he's desperate to win this frame and match here and now.
$20.
And where the cue ball has landed, this could be the crux shot. It might be Li Pei Fan's last hope.
Judd Trump, 20.
Hope retained.
Yeah, you were right. It was a bit of a cutback. He wanted that cue ball off that top cushion and left himself a little bit to do.
One. Eight.
His mastery of the cue ball definitely needs working on. Another loose positional shot. He does have a red to middle, but not as intended.
Nine.
Yeah, good recovery.
$16. 17.
'Technically, he's
24.
not classical by any means, but I like his approach, his attitude.
25. 30. 31.
'I think we can assume it's one down,
37.
4 more to come.
Thank you. 38. 45. 47. 50. 54. 59. 65.
Very
72
nicely done.
confirmed.
Trump, it seems, was in to slam the door, but it remains ajar. Right off Lei Pei Fan, at your peril. In snooker,
Li Pei Fan to break.
it would be very strange indeed if Judd Trump were to lose from 5-1 up. But how can you possibly discount the possibility? Especially after he was beaten 6-4 from 4-0 up only last week. Let's put it this way. He will want to put this to bed as quickly as possible.
One.
Oh, that was such a wonderful, beautifully cued shot. Don't think he's on the red into left corner, but he's okay. He has an alternative here into the left centre.
Nine.
Trump hoping this is going to be a carbon copy of the only previous meeting between these two. First round of the Players' Championship earlier this year. Trump prevailed 6-2. Played a little better in that match than this one.
14.
Had a couple of centuries, an 80 and a 74.
15.
But if he makes the most of this opportunity, the scoreline will be exactly the same.
$22. 23. 30. 31. 38.
Well, it'd be handy if that red below the pink went. He didn't play for that, but certainly be a little bonus. Yeah, no problem.
39. 46.
Plenty of loose red still.
47.
Trump steaming towards
54.
what would be his 7th appearance in a Champion of Champions semi-final.
55.
'Cause the opening red in this break was just, well, exquisite.
62.
Just to set him up perfect on the black.
63.
'Had an angle angle to go into the reds there, but didn't want to take a chance, just wanted to make sure this red.
70.
Because this is the important one to leave his opponent needing snookers.
71.
A little bit further than he would have liked. Again, nodded ahead. Still disappointed with that positional shot.
Judd Trump, 71.
Leipzig fan will definitely come back to the table here. 67 left, 71 behind, so 1 4-point snooker. A little bit careless from Judd Trump there.
Well, Trump certainly hoping history doesn't repeat itself. This afternoon against Bai Lu, he made a 71 break in what turned out to be the final frame. Bai needed a snooker. She got it and almost cleared up to win, missing the black.
Eight.
The usual modus operandi in this kind of situation, to try and pot 4 reds, 4 blacks, and then if you can leave a red somewhere in the vicinity of the pink and get the snooker in behind the pink off that, then you've still got a glimmer.
$16.
It's a plant here.
17.
He's played that nicely, so he won't play for the straightforward red, the one beneath the pink. He might leave that there. He'd play for the red that's close to his hand at the moment. Needs to go. Needs to go. Could have done with
24.
Just pushing that cue ball up a little higher up the table. It would have been more straightforward. He might have to take this red now. Didn't want it. Wanted to leave that last and play a straightforward snooker from that red, and now it's
25.
Just pot this black. It'd be interesting to see if he keeps this red on the table or plays for another red off the black. Plays for the black off the red, I should say. So
32.
Yeah. A little bit short. Judd Trump missed
33.
a black like this into the opposite corner pocket.
Five reds, 5 blacks equal 40, 31.
40.
The Leipzig fan deficits. He needs 1 4-point penalty snooker, all the colours, to force a respotted black.
Leipzig fan 40.
Has the cue ball gone tight enough to that brown? Looks like it has. So no swerve. So 1, 2, possibly 3 cushions to hit this yellow. Looks a good line. Very good. Good shot. Good escape.
Trump knows he should be over the line by now. Lei Pei Fan knows if he can possibly salvage this frame, suddenly Trump would be under considerable pressure.
Yeah, it's the type of situation now for Judd Trump that even though he has a 31-point lead, it's still a little bit edgy for him because of just the way the frame is panned out. He was one pot away from shaking hands if that black had gone in.
Given the elite nature of the Champion of Champions over the years, it's not very often you reach a semi-final here, beating the world number 99, then the world number 31. But Trump, close, but not quite there yet.
Oh.
Fluke and leeway.
Yeah, nice fluke, but he snookered himself at the same time, but it makes the job now for Lei Pei Fan a lot more difficult. 2 4-point snookers required. Could be one coming up here. Oh, we hit the blue. That could be it.
You see that very much, Judd Trump.
The summation of that match, Judd Trump, not vintage, but victorious. He's the first player into the semi-finals of the Champion of Champions of 2025. He defeats Lei Pei Fan, conqueror of Shaun Murphy, earlier today by 6 frames to 2.
number one, Judd Trump is the first player to book his place into this year's Champion of Champions semi-finals. He's seen off Leipei Fan. 92% pot success from both players in this one, but 6-2 the all-important stat in our match stats tonight. And I am pleased to say that Judd has come in to join Alan and Stephen. Many congratulations. Really good to see you into that semi-final. Good to see you put that win together. How did you feel you were playing out there tonight?
Not good. Yeah, I was struggling a little bit with my cue, with the tip, and the conditions weren't great either, so not a good combination. I've played a lot better this season and lost a lot of games, so I suppose you have to kind of be happy you're still in the tournament and a chance to rectify it.
Very uncharacteristic of you. A few times you had kind of frame ball in this afternoon's match and tonight, and we're about to finish it off and let the other player in. Is that something that worries you? Is that something that annoys you, frustrates you?
Not really, because I'm hitting the ball where I want to hit it, and it just doesn't go in at the moment. So I don't know. I think it's the tip's very flat, so the ball's kind of throwing off a little bit. The cue is still new. It's only 2 months old, and yeah, if I don't win something this week or next week, I think I'll probably change it.
I think when conditions are trying, shall we say, which they are, it looks a bit damp and a bit slow out there. It's like the cue ball comes like that and it stops really quickly where they want it to glide out. But anyway, I thought the way that Judd played was okay. There was a red in particular late on into the one pocket, killing the white dead. But I think that obviously you put in a lot of work and you come here thinking, right, I'm hitting it where I want to, but then when conditions dictate that you don't get the result. Would that be fair?
Yeah, I mean, there was a couple of times, as I said, I hit the ball where I wanted, but it doesn't go in. So it's just how heavy,
from what you would get.
The heavy cloth. I think I hit that ball good in the last frame, but there was it's the amount of times I was in the balls and I'm hitting it how I want to hit it, and it's probably 6 to 8 inches short every single shot from being here to being there every time, and you're just putting yourself under pressure.
What do you think this? Obviously, we keep talking about the fact you haven't won a tournament for a long time. It's probably the longest you've gone for I don't know how long. And you said there's been some great performances, but normally you found a way to even go above great performances. What do you think's the general reason? Is it the cue? Is it just are you working as hard, or is there? Can you put your finger on it? Is it just one of those things?
I mean, there's quite a few factors. I think that my brother's not been able to come in Dubai because of visa problems for the last 2 months, so I've not. My practice is probably the least I've practiced in the last 6 years.
Jack there.
So it's very hard to practice with the same intensity.
Okay.
And also, I think the main thing is the pockets are so big at the moment that
really?
I find it hard that the better player doesn't always win on the big pockets. And I think I know a lot of people say that the standard is so good, it's all close, but when the pockets are tight, and I felt they were in Ireland, then I felt like people were missing.
Right.
And I was the one, apart from obviously the final, I lost 9-8. But I was the one that was always kind of finding the middle of the pocket and getting in. But now you're getting people that miss, and it still goes in. So it's quite frustrating, I think.
Right,
and I think that's why you've seen so many different winners, because if someone's playing half decent, it's like 9-ball, you're not going to miss. Whoever gets in wins the frame, right. I think. And yeah, it's quite frustrating, I think, for some of the better players.
I think I was going to say as well that a lot of players will lose form, and Judd is no different. That'll happen, but he'll never lose heart, Jill. That's the thing, isn't it? And actually, that was the big difference I thought in the match tonight. He wasn't at his best. Leipei Fan let him off the hook, and likewise the other way around. But you're always digging in, aren't you?
I'm always going to dig in. I'm always going to try my best, and there's always going to be periods where you don't play your best and things aren't going right. And yeah, I mean, even last week I was 4-0 up. I think I missed 1 ball to go 4-1, and I didn't see another ball for.
That happens, doesn't it?
For 5 frames, and Wu played unbelievable for the rest of the tournament. So it's easy to sit there and punish yourself for you're not playing your absolute best, but sometimes some of the players you don't get a chance anymore. So
it shows you, for you though, obviously preparation is key then, and if you're not getting the right preparation, you're not feeling as good at tournament or as confident.
Yeah, I think there's obviously that, and then there's the cue, and
so you said if you lose the next 2 tournaments, you might change again then.
If I don't win in the next 2, I'll change.
Back to the old one or another new one?
No, it will be a different one. I think I can't go back to the old one. No, I can't. I put it away for a reason.
It's quite a thought, though. You know, two months of investment into this one. If you change again, but listen, you're remarkable at finding a way to win, as the guys say. You never put your head down. You've been, particularly consistent here in the Champion of Champions. You and Mark Selby, the only two to have played in every one of our Champion of Champions. That tells us something about how you've played over the last 13 years. It's a tournament you enjoy coming to, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good tournament. Throughout the season, obviously, you've got all the winners that come here, and is one where it's just in a kind of a period where there's big tournaments around it as well. So you want to be playing well. I think I've reached a lot of finals. So, yeah, it's one that obviously would be nice to win and get that confidence back up. But if not, then I'll have a new cue to look forward to.
Well, listen, you've got a semi-final against the winner of tomorrow's group, which is Karen Wilson plays Chat Lazowski, of course, who you played just recently, and Mark Allen against Zhao Xintong. We could see you a rematch of that Northern Ireland Open. That was an emotional night, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great group, I think. As a snooker fan, I think everyone's going to enjoy that one tomorrow. I think all four. I have no idea who's going to win that one.
Me neither.
No idea, and especially on kind of the form of the season, it could be anyone. So whoever I play is going to be a good game.
Could be anybody with these great big pockets.
Could be you, Joe.
Could be me. Let's not go mad. Listen, it's great to see you. We look forward to seeing you in the semi-final. We've got a stellar lineup, as we've said, coming up for you tomorrow. Former world champion, the current world champion, a 2 times winner of this tournament, and a recent first-time ranking winner, all in action. We'll preview tomorrow's group when we come back. Good to hear from Judd Trump after his 6-2 win over Lei Pei Fan. First man into the semi-final of this year's Champion of Champions. He'll play the winner of tomorrow's group, so that's a really fascinating matchup, isn't it, tomorrow afternoon? And could potentially, Alan, see a repeat of that, as we mentioned to Judd, that Northern Ireland Open final when he played Jack Lisowski.
Yeah, and it's not beyond the realms. It's obviously a tough one. You know, you got Kyron first up tomorrow afternoon, but we look forward to all three of the matches tomorrow. Good for Judd. He can sit and watch them all go at it for a place with him at the weekend. But yeah, real good group set up for tomorrow. Really looking forward to it.
Yeah, we touched on Jack earlier and how this could just be the catalyst. This could be the breakthrough, getting that event, winning that final, having lost in so many finals, and also having performed so well throughout the week in Northern Ireland.
Yeah, he took some big scalps. It wasn't easy by any stretch. Beat Selby, beat Kyron Wilson, and then Judd Trump in the final, amongst others. Yeah, the beauty for Jack now is completely lost that sort of pressure and all the questions about him. He's won a tournament, now can go to every tournament now, just going with the mindset that if I play well, I've got a chance of winning, and I can win now. And
not just winning a final against Judd, but also winning it in that deciding frame as well.
Yeah, Judd missed a few, which will happen. It was a nervy encounter in the last frame, as you would expect, but Jack stood firmest longest and he got it done, and that's what you've got to do. You know, we expected him probably to make 130 odd in the last frame and win it that way, because that's what he can do, but he toughed it out and he outlasted Judd, and that was a good string to his bow that we haven't seen down the years.
Yeah, but a word against Kyron Wilson as well, though. It's going to be a tough match for him. He's a great opponent for Jack tomorrow.
Well, Kyron Wilson will be bang up for that, because obviously everyone's talking about Jack. He's won a tournament. Jack, what's he going to do now? And Kyron will be thinking, I'm going to take him back down a peg or two. You know, I was world champion a couple of years ago. I was winning all them tournaments last year. He'll be bang up for that.
And Joe Yulong's taking a bit of form as well.
He's played lovely for the last 2 or 3 months. That's a good thing about the Champion of Champions and this group tomorrow. You've got to find a way twice to get the better of an opponent, so that's the conundrum for Jack. Outwit and maybe outplay Kyron, and then obviously the final tomorrow night, but can't wait. OK, let's just remind you then what you can look forward to tomorrow here on ITV4. It's our coverage of the Champion of Champions continuing here. First up, Kyron Wilson against the newly crowned Northern Ireland Open champion Jack Lisowski. That's followed by Mark Allen, two-time winner of this tournament, taking on the world champion Zhao Xing Tong. We're here from 12:45 on ITV4. Thanks to you guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Good night.